Ready? Welcome back.
Hello.
Second episode.
Yeah,
Where are we?
we're in our new little studio put together.
We're at home.
Yeah,
We thought with the type of topics that we're covering off in this podcast, it might be more comfortable to be in a home environment.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we're at home. And in our previous episode, we spoke about the name being Unspoken Parenthood. But after talking about the podcast to a few people,
And discussing with each other and a bit of brainstorming.
yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't want to just have it only about parenthood because there was so many taboo topics that people were mentioning that aren't spoken about as well. And we thought, why not open up this?
yeah. Make it an open forum for.
Yeah, open it up for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
So the purpose for this podcast and this community is to support each other, love each other, and connect with other people that have potentially gone through similar situations.
Yeah, it's what we've really found out is you just don't know what people are going through, until I guess someone speaks up about it.
Yeah.
And you don't they don't realize that they're not alone.
Yeah, like after our first episode went live, all the feedback that we got, we never knew a lot of people that are really close to us had gone through very challenging times.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, unspoken chats.
Unspoken chats.
That's where it's at.
So there's a few things that we're going to cover off in this episode. Angie's going to talk more. And he's going to talk into the mic.
You reckon?
I reckon.
Good feedback.
Very good feedback. And I just want to put a disclaimer that the first episode was extremely hard for us to do. And I felt very vulnerable posting it. The day before we posted it, I actually didn't want to post it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a lot of comments saying you're so strong, but I need to be honest with everyone. I'm breaking down. It's really hard to lose your son.
Yeah.
He's giving me the strength and he's showing me my purpose to help others while also healing myself. So I just want every day is different. So I don't want anyone to look at that first episode and think she had a stillborn and, she's doing okay, because I don't want anyone else that may potentially be going through that thinking that I'm okay and they need to be at the same stage that I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
not okay.
Yeah, that's it. We all deal with
Grief.
a lot differently to others. We're gonna have our hard days.
Yeah.
Some days a little bit easier, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you hear any background noises of a dog, Pharaoh is here in the studio making noises. So we do apologize, but also we don't, because we love our dog. So do you want to start?
Yeah, so we can kind of kick off from where we left off. I think big thing in that was coming home from the hospital.
Yeah, coming home.
Yeah, so we spent 3 days, was it?
Yeah.
3 nights at the hospital, and then we left on the Tuesday night or the Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon.
And
when we delivered him, it was really sunny. And the day that we left the hospital was really gloomy and raining.
Yeah. But yeah, so coming home for us, it was obviously one of the hardest things to do is leaving that hospital. It's the last thing you expect. I guess going through 8 months or of a pregnancy, to go to a hospital and then leave without your child. And yeah, like we've been saying, we've been blessed with our support. We had your sister Nadia, her husband Anthony, and our friend Anne go to our house on the Saturday when you delivered Leon.
Yeah.
Pretty much move all his stuff from the house, have it relocated somewhere else. Just
so it was one less thing that we needed to.
Pretty much, yeah. Just take everything that we've set up for him out of the house.
And kind of reset the house to where it was before we put all of his stuff in the house.
Yeah, just so it was that little bit easier when we did come home and just see everything there.
Yeah, that was honestly that was a massive, massive help for us. And they even took the car seat out of my car. So, you know, when we got into the car for the first time, it wasn't there.
No, 100%. So we've come home on the Tuesday.
I think that night.
Yeah, that
was the hard. So I was still really itchy with my cholestasis. So after you deliver your baby, if you've had cholestasis, you still have high levels of bile acid. So your reaction to the cholestasis is still there and it slowly dies down. So I was still really itchy and really irritated on top of everything else. Yeah.
Lasted, what, a week or so?
And I couldn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
And Ange was the opposite.
Yeah, I couldn't stay awake. It's really weird. But yeah, that night stuck out a lot, that Tuesday night.
Yeah, that was
our first night home. Obviously from the hospital after everything had happened. You'd woken up at around 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Normal wake time.
Yeah. And I said to Ange, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to go downstairs and try and, I don't know.
Yeah, just keep yourself busy, can't sleep.
Yeah, put the TV on. And then he came down with me.
Yeah. And we're sitting there watching Harry's practice.
So random.
At 3 a.m.
A Labrador had arthritis.
Yeah, good old Harry.
And he was treating her.
Yeah. And then I just remember just watching the back of my eyelids and then just hearing just wailing from the walk-in pantry. And, you'd broken down.
Yeah, I went into the pantry. I think I was starting to get hungry or something. And still till today, all I can imagine is feeding Leon. It's probably something I struggle most with. I just really want to feed our boy. And I just imagined, because I had some of the bottle stuff set up in the walk-in pantry. And I think also because it's a confined space and I was by myself, I just broke down and I started screaming and crying. I think I was screaming, I want you back or something. And Ange came and picked me up from the ground and was holding me and there's a lot of heavy moments like that, but I guess that's grief. It comes in waves. There's some days, yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty hard, and then the next couple of nights, would you say it got a little bit easier over time?
I think I started becoming a bit numb leading up to the funeral.
Yeah, a bit desensitized to it.
Because we knew the funeral was coming.
Yeah, that was the other thing throughout that week. Because it's all real blur. We were getting, you'd be sitting at home, just sitting on the couch, and then you'd hear the doorbell ring every
the flowers.
Every hour, 2 hours. And then
look, we really, really, really appreciate everyone's love and support and every single flowers that we received. But every time we received another bunch of flowers, for us, it was another reminder that he wasn't with us. So it got to the point where I had to put them in the garage until his burial. But we're so grateful because all those flowers actually were the flowers he was buried with.
Yeah.
But it was the reminder. It was the doorbell.
Yeah, definitely. So we ended up setting up a big trestle table in the garage and moving them all in there.
We had 2 trestle tables.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy seeing and realizing how loved he was without anyone really getting to know him.
Mm.
And that was really nice for us to see.
Yeah, the support was out of the world. Like we had some people visit us and send food and yeah, it was really sweet.
Yeah.
We had a lot of our family around us.
Yeah, 100%. Blessed with support. And so we've come home on a Tuesday, and the following Monday was the burial and the prayer night. So yeah, and we, which is pretty hard for us, obviously. It's weird because you know that day is coming, and
I wouldn't wish this upon anyone, but no one prepares you to bury your son.
Yeah. I don't think
I don't think any parent thinks of that, and I wouldn't want any parent.
No one enters parenthood with that expectation or that,
and you don't want to because you don't want that anxiety.
No,
but just seeing that small coffin. Yeah.
So yeah, once
the prayer night was incredible. We had so many people at the prayer night.
Yeah, I was very surprised with that.
Yeah, me too. Every single person that came, can't think of enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there that...
I don't know how I kept standing. I don't know how I didn't collapse. That's God's grace. That's the definition of God's grace.
But yeah.
Yeah. Leading up to the funeral, physically for me, my stomach went down really quickly, but I was feeling phantom kicks. And I also was getting post-birth contractions. And I still was bleeding. So there was a lot going on with me, but I have to say I had a really easy postpartum body experience. He really took care of me. I was only on Panadol for maybe 7 days. I started easing off really quickly. My hardest thing was, the hardest and the most comforting thing for me was having a shower. So in my pregnancy, the shower for me was a beautiful part of the day. I could hang out with him. I'm washing my body. I'm really in tune with him. And then I felt so empty.
Yeah.
And he was no longer inside me. And I felt like I failed him as a mum. I didn't keep him safe enough.
Which isn't true. And
I always have a bit of guilt though. Because I feel like I should have felt like he wasn't okay, and I should have known that he was passing away. I should have saved him. I'm his mum.
But there's nothing you could have done. There's nothing you would have known.
My logic brain tells me that. But the mum guilt is real. And I also have a lot of wife guilt. I feel like I was just about to give you the world.
You still did.
Make sure you marry a supportive person. That's all I can say. God bless me with the best husband. So there was a lot going on in my space. And obviously Andrew's like, we can't forget about the dad's perspective because you were helping me go through physical changes as well as the mental change, and you were being the support. But then what about your support?
But I think that's what kind of got me through it, because that took my mind off a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because my focus was there.
Making sure I was okay. Which you did. You made me like 10 shaves a day. Thank you. Also leading up to the funeral, people started getting signs from Leon. Do you remember this?
Yeah, there were a few.
I remember getting so angry. Like, and I don't have a jealousy bone in my body, but I was getting jealous. I remember. So, I like to say our cousin Jade, but it's Andrew's cousin Jade.
It's my niece.
Oh, your niece. We had a joke that we called Leon Basil.
That was his code name. That was what we told people he was going to be named.
Yeah.
Before we had him.
After St. Basil. And it was just like the funniest joke ever. Anyways. And she was working one day and she was getting orders, and one order came through and the name was Basil. And then the second order came through and the name was Leon. And she sent me a photo and she's like, I can't believe this. And I was like, oh my God, he's coming to you. Like, that's the best. That next day, my sister called me and she's like, oh my God, this song
by Leon Bridges just kept playing for her everywhere.
Just everywhere she went into a shop or she would go into the car, this song was playing. Then we were on the phone to Anthony, my brother-in-law. And what was the TV show?
The Chase.
The Chase.
Yeah.
And the person competing against the Chase.
I don't even think he was watching. I think he just walked into the room and...
Yeah, his name's Leon.
Yeah.
And after that sign, I got really upset. I remember lying in bed and I was like, Leon, stop going to everyone but your mum. I'm sick of this. I was like, give me a sign. Do you want to tell the story about when we got our sign?
Yeah, so it was a really nice night, like, which probably the first nice night of October.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, whatever, we'll go to the beach. We'll go watch the sunset. We'll go get fish and chips. We'll eat at the beach.
So my most healing space is the ocean. So I kind of was like not begging you, but I was like, please can we go to the beach? And I love sunsets and sunrises.
Yeah. So we went there. Where was it?
So you randomly did I randomly?
You randomly.
Best fish and chip shop in Brighton.
Yeah. You found some random fish and chip shop that you wanted to go to because they had good reviews.
Yeah.
So we end up in this fish and chip shop. Nowhere to sit. It's like...
It's tiny.
Yeah, a little narrow and then in Brighton, and then we're sitting there. We've placed our order and there's like a little bench. So we're sitting on the bench and we're just waiting, and then all we hear is this lady just yelling out, Leon.
And we both stared at it.
And
the first time we were like, what?
Yeah, like she said it once and we both paused and looked at each other. Like, nah. And then she says it again. And then then one of the other kids says, like, calls out Leon again.
But they're like yelling his name, yeah? No one else is getting their name yelled out.
Yeah, and the demographic is predominantly, I guess, a bit more Australian.
Yeah, more Australian.
More Caucasian Australian. And then a kid walked out.
Our complexion.
Roughly our complexion. And he's like, yeah. And we're like, what's going on?
He was probably like 15. He looked so cute. Yeah. And he was like trying his hardest.
He ended up making our food.
He made our food. His name was Leon.
Yeah, it was so weird.
It was really, really weird. It was kind of like, this is a glimpse of, like, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, Leon made our food.
Yeah.
He learnt. It was the first time he made that, apparently, because I remember they were teaching. Yeah.
So he's like a new worker as well. So I was really, really happy after that. because I'm like, I got my sign from my son.
Mm.
And we were driving home. And this is the night before his funeral, by the way. We were driving home and we got a call from Father John.
Mm.
And he told us,
It was a text message.
maybe a text message.
Yeah,
I thought we were on the phone with him.
possibly.
I think he sent through the photo and then we called him.
Maybe, yeah.
He got a sign from Leon too.
He
The
was
number
driving-
plate.
Yeah, he was driving sort of car with a number plate that said Leon or something
Or
similar.
Leo or something. But he's like, oh, he came to visit me.
Yeah.
And that for me was like, oh,
Mm.
so cute. But yeah, our boy did his rounds. He gave everyone some signs.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah.
What about Pharaoh when we come home?
Oh my gosh. So how do we even describe Pharaoh as a dog?
I don't know.
He's a weird dog to describe. He doesn't like attention or affection
He doesn't
from
care,
humans. But he's a mummy's boy.
Yeah, he loves you.
Loves cuddles late at night. Like, he's all about that. And then as soon as Ange comes in the room, he kind of goes, "Huff," and he like jumps off the bed. Like, so he loves his mum. He would not come anywhere near me as soon as I came home without Leon.
Yeah, when we came home from the hospital, he didn't come near any of us.
No, I didn't come near you either.
He was just sulky, sitting on the bed for like 2-3 days.
He literally was crying. Do you remember when he cried?
Mm.
He wouldn't get off his bed. He wouldn't eat his food. Yeah, it was full on. Pharaoh was really, really sad.
Mm. It's weird how like people say, "Oh, dogs know, animals know," but you're like, "Yeah, they do." But then you actually see it,
And you're like, oh wow,
yeah,
you
it's
actually
weird.
didn't know.
yeah. But yeah, that was a lot leading up until the burial. But yeah, like we said, all those flowers that we received, they went to his resting place.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. So when we got there, obviously once the burial was done and he's been put in, we left the flowers there because what they obviously put a cover on it. We leave and then sometime later in the day they'll come and fill the grave up. And then what they've done is they've just obviously placed the flowers on top.
Mm.
Um,
I'm so sorry. I just remembered something.
what?
We didn't pick his plot.
Oh yes.
We didn't pick his row. All we picked was Faulkner.
So we were when we were organising it all, the guy from the funeral home recommended that we go out there. I'll have a look, just make sure you're happy with the location and everything. We're like, you know what?
For us, we were like, can you just do it for us?
Yeah.
We were like, all we request is a single plot,
Yeah.
but you pick. We don't mind. You just allocate whatever.
Yeah, so yeah, go on.
So his row and his number, which I don't want to say out loud, because everyone's going to know where he is.
Okay.
I don't know. I find that weird.
No, that's fine. You have to say that.
But it equals his row and his number equal the time that he was born.
Yeah. If you take the number of the letter of the row and the number of the plot.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, which is really weird. And he's in the same row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone else's baby that we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was comforting
Mm.
in the most saddest way.
Yeah, definitely.
Like our angels are together in heaven.
Mm.
Yeah. Sorry. You
That's
were
all right.
saying they cover up, they put the...
Yeah, so we obviously left the flowers there for them to place over his plot, and obviously they're gonna put it there as nice as possible, but they're not gonna sit there, take time and dress it up how
How we would want it.
how we'd do it.
Mm.
So was it the next day we've come back or the couple of days later?
I think it may have been the next day.
Mm.
I think it was the next day.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to make sure it was, done correctly.
Mm. So we came back, tidied it up.
It was just me and you.
Yeah. Just we picked the right flowers, like had it looking really
Yeah, we
nice.
like assorted it really nicely.
And you were saying like feel like that's something that feels really good, something that we could do.
Yeah. So like there's very limited things that we can do as his parents.
Mm.
And the things that we can do, we really honour.
Yeah.
So yeah. We were able to clean that up, and when we were there we actually walked through the kids' cemetery. And that was really emotional. And we said prayers for a lot of the kids, or all of the kids. But it just makes you realise there is so many parents out there grieving their kids.
Mm.
So, yeah, that was confronting because I'd only ever been to one other burial. That was my grandfather.
Mm.
So it was
a lot different as well.
It was very different, yeah. He lived a, beautiful long life. Yeah, it was very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the burial, as I mentioned before, I don't even think I continued the story about the shower. So there's this thing called, or I call it, like trauma brain, where I feel like I can't keep a thought.
Mm.
So I feel like I'm jumping from back and forth. But
yeah.
the shower after the burial, like the days after,
Yeah.
I broke down.
Yeah.
In the shower, and I was like really angry with God. I felt like my faith was really tested in that moment. How did you deal with that? Because you're the one that dealt with it.
I don't know. I think we dealt with it together though. I don't think it was just me dealing with it.
I think you helped me a lot through that.
Yeah.
Because I was angry.
Yeah, I think you were angry, but you were still understanding though. Like,
yeah,
like you're allowed to be angry.
Mm.
And I think you had a few conversations with the priests.
Yeah.
About that too.
I had one really good conversation with Father Michael. He really helped me feel okay with not being okay.
Mm.
And saying to just surrender to God and like he has the plan.
Mm.
Leon's actually in a better place than what we are.
100%.
I tend to forget that because everyone keeps telling me, you've got an angel. And all I want to scream back is, I just want my baby. I don't want an angel. I want a baby. I want my son.
100%.
But then I also remember God's will. And I do have a baby. He's just not on earth with us. So yeah, my fate was really tested. And then, yeah.
Yeah, then how do you physically after giving birth?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
I stopped postpartum bleeding 2 weeks after giving birth. And how many weeks after that? So 4 weeks after giving birth, I got my period, which is very quick. Normally people take at least 6 to 8 weeks to get their period after giving birth. So when I got my period, I knew it was my period, but on the 3rd day it got really, really heavy to the point where it was very scary.
Yeah.
So I had to call the nurse and explain what was going on.
Yeah, and it's hard because you have to explain our situation every time.
Every single time.
Mm.
And then when I explained to the nurse what I was feeling and what was going on, she's like, you might have a second hemorrhage. Mind you, never heard of what a second hemorrhage was before. I thought you could only hemorrhage at birth, but apparently there's a second hemorrhage that can happen, which means that you're bleeding out essentially.
Yeah, so it's
Very dangerous.
often caused by either infection or something that's
Or like product left in your uterus, like
so-
placenta.
yeah.
So she pretty much said, look, you need to go straight into emergency and you need to get this sorted. And when she told me I had to go into emergency, although I had the best experience at my hospital with, you know, the worst scenario in regards to losing him, I love that hospital and I'm very grateful for that hospital, but it's very traumatic for me to go back.
Yeah.
But we did. I went to emergency, did all the tests. The doctor thought, yep, we think it's a second hemorrhage.
Instead, even if it isn't, to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Let's just tick all the boxes.
Yeah, tick all the boxes and do all of the tests.
Yeah.
They told me that I had to do an ultrasound on my uterus. I didn't want to see my uterus without him. That was really hard.
I think ultrasounds in general, especially
In that region.
Yeah, coming off almost a year of
Just seeing him there.
just getting ultrasounds there for him, and then going back.
Yeah.
For
And then I was in the exact same room doing the ultrasound that I had seen him the day before he passed when he was healthy. So it was just very triggering, but I'm glad that they made me do every single test because we left knowing 100% that I was healthy, and it was just very heavy bleeding after, like my first period after giving birth, which can happen. You can get heavy periods after giving birth. Another thing I did not know. So I hope that helps someone. But obviously, if you're worried, call your doctor. But yeah, I had heavy bleeding after giving birth. I mean, my first period after giving birth. Yeah. How did you feel seeing me go back to the hospital? Or actually, not even me. How did you feel being back in the hospital?
Yeah, I know it's not ideal, but we're there for a reason. So obviously, just stay focused on why we're there.
You're very strong to do that.
No, not really. It's just keeping my mind on what I need to keep it on.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so physically I was going through it just a little bit, just in regards to the bleeding, but I wasn't in any pain, which is good. But one thing that I found that really helped me stay distracted was watching Ugly Betty. It's a TV show you can just put on and you don't have to think. And I haven't watched it since I was like really young, and I needed a distraction.
There were so many episodes of that, and I could just kept hearing it every single day.
I had it on at all times.
Literally morning to night, that show was on for what, a week and a half?
Yeah, it was my comfort.
Yeah.
I needed a show to distract me, but not a show that I had to pay attention. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone going through trauma, watch Ugly Betty. It'll make you happy.
It's a drain of a show.
It's a good show.
Yeah, no worry.
One thing we realised is the mornings and nights are really hard. You wake up and you remember, and you go to sleep and crave your baby.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the day where you're occupied. You're keeping yourself busy.
Yeah.
But I think it's the silence that gets deafening.
Yeah,
and you're just sitting there. You're just in your own mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because we have so much time and we wish we were changing nappies and feeding and all of those things that you're scared of. I wish I wasn't sleeping from a crying baby.
Yeah.
I would do anything in the world to be awake or sleep deprived with a baby crying that needed me, that was alive. But because we have so much time and our mind is essentially all over the place, we decided to book a trip.
Yes, we did.
Which it's very bittersweet.
Yeah, so because we were originally supposed to get married in October of 2020, obviously prior to all the lockdowns and the the travel bans and everything that happened around then. So we've booked our original honeymoon that we were supposed to go on, which is USA and Mexico.
Yeah.
So
we're going to New York to watch the
Jets.
J-E-T-S. Jets.
Yes, correct.
For Ange.
It's for you.
No, it's for Ange.
No, it's for you.
Mexico's for me. New York's for you.
And then what? San Francisco and LA are just fillers, just to get in and out.
Yeah.
Nah.
Check in, check out. Know what I mean?
Now we got your cousin in San Francisco that we're going to go see.
And LA, like you're flying home, you might as well just see it.
See something else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be exciting. Just a little thing to get our mind off it. We're fortunate we're in a position that we could do this.
Yeah, we're very grateful.
It's
not really getting our mind off it. It's more dealing with our grief.
Yeah.
Or learning it. I don't know. Our whole mind was prepared to take on the battle of a new parent. And I think our mind was consumed with, we've done our traveling, like now we're going to, and it's kind of like, okay, now we don't have that. So
what can we do?
What can we do?
Yeah.
Catch flights, not, what do they say? Catch flights, not feelings?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Look at you with your young slang.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's one thing we've booked to help us a little bit. There's been a few things that's helped us.
Seeing our friends' kids have helped us so much.
Yeah.
So one of our friends has a daughter and she loves chickens. This brought me so much joy. So she loves her chickens. And do you want to tell the full story?
Yeah, so we'll actually so buying some stuff for the studio, buying these chairs.
Yeah, these couches.
And the people we were buying them off when we were there, they're like, oh, yeah, come pick them up at this time. We need to, because we're going to the market at by this time. So we got there, we're having a chat to them. They ended up being lovely people.
Yeah, they're really nice.
So we've done that, and then our friends live not too far by. So we called them up. I'm like, hey, do you know anything about this market? Because it's not near our area. They're like, oh, I'm not too sure. I think it's around here. I don't know I haven't been before. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, can you just see if they've got any chickens? Because they've just moved and they've got a decent sized backyard and they've got their little daughter. They've got her some chickens and they must have gotten out, or
the fox got 2 chickens.
Something happened, and then the fox has come and it's taken 2 of their chickens. So, and obviously, poor girl's devastated. And Sarah loves birds, to be fair.
Sorry, God. I very much dislike birds. I'm scared of birds. I don't like them. I don't trust them. The fluttering, I'll eat chicken. Love chicken to eat. Yeah, I'm actually really terrified of chickens and birds. But for this little girl, I'll do anything.
Yeah. So we ended up parking. We had no idea where to park, where to find them, if they even had them. So we park our car, finally make our way around, and the first store we see is just these. It's just
Heaps of chickens.
yeah, all these chickens.
And they come in different breeds.
Yeah, different shapes, different sizes, different
Different
colours,
colours.
everything.
Oh, and different sizes of growth.
Ages.
Oh, yeah, ages.
Yeah.
Who knew? Like, you can really pick your chicken.
Mm.
So weird. Anyways, we ended up buying 3 chickens.
Yeah.
We bought 2 to replace this. We bought 2 of the same breed to replace the ones that the fox got.
Yeah.
And then I saw one that was really cute. Even though I don't like chickens, but it had like a hat on it.
It's called a silky.
Anyways.
So it's a really fluffy chicken and looks like it's wearing a hat.
Anyway, so we got the chickens, we drove it down, and her reaction, just seeing her with her new chickens, brought me such joy to the point where one of the parents said to us, "Oh, how are you going?" And I said, "Yeah, good. How are you?" And in that moment, I realized I said good, and I really got upset with myself because it's like I shouldn't be good. Like, why am I saying good? Anyways, and then we really enjoyed seeing it with the chickens. And when we were driving home, I was saying to Ange, I would get Leon 10 chickens. I'd pick them up. I would do anything. Like, it puts your life in such perspective.
Yeah. Just seeing them so happy with it.
Yeah. She loved her chickens. And like, we had visitors come past and give their condolences, like friends of ours come past and give condolences, and they were with their kids. And, you know, people aren't sure how we're going to cope with either seeing them pregnant or seeing their kids. It doesn't affect, like, it actually brings us so much happiness.
Yeah.
When we see them.
I think as well, very early on when we got out.
The first outing.
Yeah, the first outing. I think it was a couple of days after we got home. You were feeling good enough, and being home alone, it's especially after that, it's just us two.
Yeah.
It's not great. So we ended up going just to
get sushi.
Yeah, just a local shopping centre, just get sushi. And what people forget to tell you is, or you just never really notice unless you experience it, or you're the one of them, is during the weekdays, like in the middle of the day, there's no one at shopping centres but mums with prams. Yeah,
because they're on mat leave and, you know, they're getting out of the house and stuff. So soon as we walked into the shopping centre, and I'm walking slow at this stage because I'm still really healing. Like, I'm telling you, it's like 5 days post giving birth. And I'm walking like kind of slow, and I look up and I see fresh baby, like maybe a week, 2 weeks old. And I just had to, you know, have my moment. And
yeah,
it's seeing babies, it brings me joy, but I also see Leon's age. So like babies that are around the age of what he would be right now, for me is really hard. But for some reason, seeing people's kids that I know, it's not hard.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah. Like one of our friends came over to give condolences, and her daughter was playing with Farah, and Farah was like licking her face and being cheeky, and you know, she really liked Farah, and that was so sweet to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's every day is different with grief.
Yeah, grief's a funny thing.
It's a roller coaster. But I think this play, like Unspoken Chats, that's essentially that's what we're doing.
Yeah. It's not going to be exclusive, obviously, to our story.
Not at all.
This, like, the topic of stillborns or pregnancies or anything like that. It's Leon's been a reason why it's kicked off.
Yeah.
And it'll always be that reason,
Yeah.
purpose of why we're doing this.
But this space is for
That-
everyone.
Yeah, it's an open forum for people who want to express themselves or just get something off their chest or
Tell their story.
help others who could possibly be going through what
Yeah.
they've gone through or what they're going through.
Like, for example, like taboo conversations that aren't spoken about could be men's mental health or, you know, postpartum depression or, I don't know, dealing with disease. No one talks about when you, like if someone has a disease, how they're dealing with it.
Once you're diagnosed, you feel like
You're by yourself.
Yeah.
Or literally anything.
Mm.
Drug use, you know, rehab, like things that literally no one talks about.
Mm.
We want this space to be a space of love and support. And as humans, we like connection. We need connection.
Mm.
And this space is to connect with people and
100%.
and heal.
Yeah.
But
Thanks.
I know, same time. But next episode hopefully isn't going to be about us.
Yeah, so in the future you're going to be seeing some episodes with some other people on here.
Yeah.
Where obviously one of us will be speaking to some other people.
Yeah. And I want to re-say this is a very vulnerable place to be.
100%.
I feel so vulnerable sharing our story.
Yeah. Good.
But the feedback has made me feel empowered.
Mm.
So I'm doing this for Leon. So people know about him.
100%.
Do you feel the same?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Leon's dad.
And you're his mama.
Yeah. All right. We're going to finish off now.
Yeah, we outie.
Thanks for listening.
Nice. I see you. Bye.
Bye.